think I'm good. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? This whole new audio configuration is still a little beyond me. I'm afraid. Ah, no! Oh, keyboard down.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, okay, so I can't type. But hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is great. I hope everyone is doing well. We missed you last week, but we're glad to be back. Heather can still type. It's a bit fuzzy. Okay, wait. I think. Alright, which one are you? Is that any better? Why so many inputs for voice? I do not know. And why fuzzy? It's the same. Hold on.
All right, well, I need to know which one to turn on the next 2 days.
I know, just
I know. I'm just saying so other people can hear and help me remember.
No. Shoot. Now I broke everything. Everything is broken because of me. I wonder why it's fuzzy.
I'm coming in clear. Of course I am.
Okay, we had that same problem. Oh, okay, hold on. I hate all of you. Every one of you, I want to murder. I am talking about my audio sources, by the way.
Just call her a hussy. Come on.
What, me?
Can you see what Lori said?
Well, she said...
I know.
I hate that. That's not true, I love you dearly. But I do not know how to make this go away. So I'm going to hide. I'm going to hide you all. Did I just hide one that wasn't needed? I'll hide all. Okay, so how is the audio now? Hopefully you should be able to hear me, and hopefully I will be coming in louder and clearer than I was just a minute ago before this whole debacle. Hi, Corvus! Yes, I'm back, but am I better? Hi. I was muting myself on purpose so I could add a new microphone, which is the same microphone that I've added multiple times. There's still a bit of fuzz. Oh, yes, we back. Thanks, Kenneth. Okay. Alright, I don't... This doesn't usually go well, but we're going to try it. Okay, so Same or different? Lori, are you hearing the tumbler? Is that what your brain is interpreting as fuzz in the audio signal?
Possibly.
Because it might be. Okay, so we just turned off the tumbler, so is the fuzz gone? And can you guys hear me? Now I get to wait for the lag. It was really fun on that night where the stream was no fuzz.
That's the tumbler though.
So that's actually the tumbler. So that's legitimate background noise, not an audio problem. So we will keep the tumbler off for the duration of this stream. Heather and I are going to be doing a working and talking stream after this. So it'll be like a podcast, but with us getting stuff done. We may turn the tumbler back on during that because I've got things in there that I need to get done. So welcome to our first day back. We've missed you guys so much, and we are going to do a cool vintage redo. So this one I actually did impromptu 2 years ago, I think, during the snowpocalypse, when I was supposed to do a soldering tutorial and I was stuck at home. And so I didn't have any soldering stuff there, plus I still had Ziggy, so no soldering with Ziggy, because feline flambe is definitely not anyone wants when they're trapped in a house in the frozen tundra of Dallas. So this is a vintage watch chain redo. So, oh, I can put this, okay, where can I put this so it's not going to fall down? There. So in this particular tutorial, men's pocket watch chain. So the entirety of the vintage bit is from this large toggle type piece all the way down the chain to where it ends here. So, hello! I mean, that couch deserved it, Keiko. Also, I really want someone on the stream to get a Labrador and name it Labradorite. Just saying. So that's the entirety of the vintage watch chain, is from here to here. So the way that these babies worked was the gentleman would, there would be a hook right here, a swivel hook, and what I've done in this is I've moved that swivel hook down and made it a pendant holder instead, but there would be a hook here, that's where the gentleman would clip his pocket watch, and then this toggle would go into the button of his vest, and then it would swag across, and then his pocket watch would be in his pocket. So it was an accessory that men could, kind of be a little bit fun and a little bit flamboyant with. They're very elaborate pocket watch chains out there. I don't have any of those. My fanciest ones are these two, which are double ones, and they do tend to get twisted. So this one's a double one, and this one's nice. You can tell that this one's a little bit nicer manufacture because the first of all, the detailing is on both sides. Sorry, welcome to a lesson in pocket watch chains. I promise we'll do a project in just a minute. But this one's a little nicer manufacture because the detailing's on both sides of the little findings, and then the chains themselves are at different lengths. So just like you would have tiered chains in a necklace, they are designed to hang nicely whilst sweeping across the gentleman's waist. The one I'm going to work with today isn't quite as nice. The detailing is on both sides of the findings, but it's not quite as nice and detailed as this. You can see the superior quality of the etching on this one. You've got a lot of detail going on, whereas this one's just kind of a rough approximation of decoration, and why that's not focusing, I don't know, but it bugs me since I'm trying to teach. Let's try, come on, focus in. There you go. Now you can see. So you can see all of the detailing on this one versus there's practically, I mean, there's some, but it's not nearly as done. Chances are this one was done by hand and this one was done by a machine. The other thing on this one that's not quite as nice is that I really need to take my Stream Deck back up because not mouse stuff is, but so this one, the chains are exactly the same length. So when they swag across, they kind of, they don't drape as nicely as the one that I showed you just a minute ago. This one does have a cool detail though. Oh, and then this part here is called the slide. And some watch chains actually have some rubber inside of the slide, but most of them, the slide is just free floating. It's just a decorative piece. But once again, you've got that same thing of where this one is very obviously nicely hand engraved, and this one is probably machine engraved or even possibly stamped. She did not. She got rid of what, 25 or 30%?
Probably 25%. About 6 to 8 inches.
I mean, 25% of Heather's hair is 100% of my hair, so it is, you know, a lot, but it's, no. The header is still the header that you know. So anyway, the thing about pocket watch chains is they weren't designed to be necklaces. They were designed to span the distance between a gentleman's button and his pocket. So unless the gentleman was excessively rotund, any vintage watch chain that you find is going to be way too short for a necklace. Now, there's one more part of the chain that I want to talk about before I start taking this baby apart, and that is this. This is the fob. That's probably a word that a lot of you have heard. So this is where the toggle would be. The toggle's missing on this one. So watch here, toggle here, toggle goes through the gentleman's buttonhole, and then the fob hangs down. I'm going to put it up here because you can see it, but the fob hangs down on the front of his vest. So not only is the chain an accessory, but the fob is an accessory as well. And the fob was often either a decorative bit like this, sometimes it was a memento, sometimes it was a seal, either a faux decorative seal, like this one is a seal, but it's got nothing, you can't seal nothing with it because there's nothing on the bottom of it. Sometimes it was an actual family seal, but the point is, it was, you know, again, it was a way for gentlemen in the rather reserved Victorian era to have a little bit of bling, a little bit of jewelry, and have a little bit of fun. So the first thing I'm actually going to do to turn this into a necklace is I'm going to remove the fob from the chain, because what I want to start with is going to be I'm betting that's probably something we don't have to answer. Is I want the original chain construction. So the fob I'm actually going to turn into a pendant at the end. So most of these were not put together with soldered rings. They were put together with nice, sturdy, regular jump rings. So I'm just going to open that jump ring and take that off. And you'll see that those two fell off because that was connecting everything. So I'm just going to use this to put those two back on. So without the fob, this here, and remember, especially when you're dealing with heavy jump rings like this, you're going to go ahead and want to use 2 chain nose pliers. So this is the entirety of really the original chain minus the fob. So this is what I'm going to be using as the base for my necklace. So Keiko noticed this one. So this is the one that I actually did during the snowpocalypse, and I used wire wrapped beads to extend this one because I didn't have any chain in my workshop at the time that was appropriate for that. So essentially what we need to do is we need to extend this watch chain to a length where it is comfortable to wear as a necklace. And then the way that I will typically wear these is I will put the toggle in front And then, like I said, I've turned this swivel hook into a pendant hanger, but there's no reason that you couldn't turn it around and put the toggle at the back as well, except for the fact that now I'm stuck. Okay, you could also wear it the other way as well. But the point is, you need to make it long enough to go around your neck. So we're gonna do kind of a hybrid of this one, which again is the one that I did during the Snowpocalypse with the wire wrap beads, and then this one, which is the example for this class, which I did using just a piece of chain. And so I'm going to grab my watch chain that I'm working with. Set you guys to the side for a minute. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to detach my swivel, because I'm going to turn that into my pendant holder that's going to be attached onto my toggle. And I may need to go, I can just steal the chain off of this one. Never mind. I'm just going to candleize that chain. And the thing about these swivel hooks is most of the time, most of the time, and by most of the time I mean all of the time, unless you're looking at a super, super high-end chain, they're not soldered. So you can just gently twist them open, take them off, and you're good to go. Set that aside for later. I will say that I personally prefer the bigger swivels like this one, because they're way easier to hang on to get pendants on and off than these bitty guys. There are also modern swivels that you can get. You can get them in base metal, you can get them in brass, and you can get them in gold filled. And it is called a swivel because it swivels, it turns. So that the gentleman's pocket watch moving in his pocket would not twist up and deform and disfigure his lovely draped watch chain. So going back to this guy, all right, so we've taken our little piece and we're gonna set it aside. And again, the name for that piece is a swivel hook. And now I am gonna steal the chain off of this one that I did for sample, because it's what's here. And what I'm gonna do is separate this chain into sets of 4 links. That's going to enable me to make up my length that I need pretty quickly, and still show you guys a little bit of wire wrapping, though most of you on this stream right now already know how to wire wrap. Sorry, should have grabbed a straw. It is so dry, as you can tell by Heather's cough. I feel like every pore on my body is just like screaming for water. Or revenge gin. Yes, we have special gin to drink while we're working. We might fall asleep.
That's true, considering the makeup of the revenge gin.
Maybe we should save it for another stream when we don't have to work.
That's probably not the dumbest idea.
Okay, so I've got 3 pieces that are each 4 links long. Now I have some of these cool garnet rounds. So we're gonna start with, so this end is where the toggle bar is gonna go. Now, as I noted, toggle bar is missing, so I found this cool brass toggle. It's a little brighter than my chain, but see, now my throat's starting to tighten up. But it will dull down over time, so I think, pretty quickly it's going to be a pretty nice marriage with the chain. What I do like to do, and what I did on this one, is when I'm adding that toggle, rather than just add it right onto, back up like 30 seconds and let's try this again. So this would be where the toggle is. This is where we're going to do our main extension. This side here would be where the loop is. I like to add a bead or a piece of chain in between that as well, just because it makes it look more intentional. But when you really get down to it, it doesn't so much matter what you put on what side or where you put things. The point here is just to make it look attractive and make it long enough to go around your neck. So I'm going to make a pattern, and I'm going to do that on this side of see, garnet chain. That should be long enough. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do a wire wrapped garnet and then a series of chain links, garnet, chain, and then a garnet to link onto my toggle bar. So that means I'm going to grab some gold filled wire. I'm using 22 gauge today with something like this, just because of the weight of everything involved, and because usually, you know, when the jump rings were used, they were pretty heavyweight. You want to use something that's sturdy and also visually can hold its own with the rest of your piece. So if you wanted to use 24 or 26 and do something really delicate, go for it. I prefer to use something a little bit chunkier. That does, of course, mean that you need to make sure that your beads will accommodate your chunkier wire. So I'm going to use my 22. That's a nice kind of middle ground between the heavier 18 that was used for these jump rings and maybe the lighter 24 or so that we would normally use, for a wire wrapping project. So take my round nose pliers and my wire. So this is a basic wire wrap loop, and we've got several tutorials on the basic wire wrap loop. Also very, very soon, I hope, we will have a comprehensive tutorial that you can buy off of Etsy on basic stringing, basic wire wrapping, and basic knotting. So that's my goal to complete before the end of December. It's a lofty goal, but I think I can do it. So, round nose pliers, we're going to grab usually I'll say about 2 inches from the end of your wire, but this is gold filled, so I don't really want to waste any wire, so I'm going to go about 1 inch from the end of my wire. Now, I'm a right-handed individual, so my pliers are in my right hand. I'm going to take my left hand, and I'm going to push my wire away from me over my pliers at a 90-degree angle. Then I'm going to loosen my pliers, rotate them just 1/8 of a turn until they're right on that corner, and then I'm going to grab again. Make sure you grab gently but firmly, okay? If you grab with your round nose pliers just with the grip of death, you're going to put a little dent in your wire, and your wire's going to break when you go to wrap it. Now I'm going to take my wire back up over the top of my pliers and down until it hits the other wire. Now, I need to continue that circle around, but I can't because this plier right here is in the way. So I'm going to loosen, rotate, grab, and then continue underneath like so. And that makes what everyone here knows is called Our Lady with the Scarf. All right, because she looks like a lady. If she were in an automobile going vroom across the Scottish Highlands with a long scarf trailing.
Scottish Highlands.
I mean, I don't know where my brain is today. Chocolate Scottish Highlands. Go figure.
Your brain is in a really fun place. I'm with it.
She's driving through the heather. All right, so now I'm going to take my loop that I just made. I'm going to link it onto here. Now, some of you are saying, hey lady, that's a jump ring. We could totally just open that and link it on. And that's true, but that's not forming good habits, people. We want to form good habits. And good habit is if you're going to make a link, you link it on before you wrap it. So I'm going to take my my wire, and I'm going to feed that into this jump ring. And I'm going to pop that into the loop. Now remember, there's only one way in to this loop. If you try and go in from this side, it's not going to work. So get into that loop like so, and then grab a chain nose pliers. Chain nose are the flat pliers. These are your grabbing and holding pliers. Now hold them across your loop parallel to that scarf wire like so. We're going to wrap that scarf wire around about 2 or 3 times. Alright, so there's, if you think you're going to have to stretch your length a bit, go for 3 wraps. It's going to give you more length. Then you're going to take your cutters, you're going to trim, and you're going to have, after you trim, this little pokey bit, so we're going to press that down. And there we go. Now we're going to put a bead on. Yes, Keiko, it is. My friend Mandy calls it Franken jewelry. I'm going to take my round nose again, and I'm going to hold them so that they are touching the top of that bead. Now, I'm going to take my left hand again. I'm going to push my wire away from me, rotate my pliers. Notice there's a little space in between the bead and the pliers. That's something that, if you're just beginning, can be a little worrisome. You're like, why is there a space? I didn't make a space. Yes, you did make that space intentionally by doing what I told you to do, and that's because you need space for your wraps. Pull your wire back up over the top, rotate again, and underneath for your lady with a scarf. Sorry, that one wound up a little wonky because I need to, hold on, I need to move because the way my lights are, I cannot see my display window. And it's really annoying. Oh, no, I don't want to be full screen because then I can't see the chat. It'll put me down there. It's like I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, yay, Franken Trinkets. Keiko, are you going to be at Dickens at all? I'm going to be there, but I'm going to be low-key because I am VV tired. Okay, so now once again we've got our lady with a scarf. And we're going to take one of our chain series and we're going to just put that onto our wire and then all the way up and into the loop like so. And then find a chain nose, hold across your loop. So I find as a righty that when I'm doing this, it's easiest for me to put the loose chain to my right and everything that I've already done to my left, because that way I can actually hold and wrap away from myself and go down towards the bead. Like so. Trim. And press down. And there we go. So now we're going to repeat 3 more times. So we start with a bare wire. So this is when you're linking. When you're linking, you're going to do 1 loop with no bead and then 1 loop with a bead. One of the most, bless her heart, awkward students I ever had, because she was taught by somebody who was well-meaning but not necessarily well versed, was she would put the bead onto the wire and then try to do the first loop while keeping the bead from falling off of the wire, and I'm like, oh no, you're making life so much harder than it needs to be, and we all do that so much already. Don't do it while making jewelry, okay? So first loop is with no bead on the wire. So, round nose pliers. And away. Oh, so much better I can see. Rotate. Back up over the top. Rotate and underneath. That's my lady with a scarf. So, this is something, again, that sometimes frustrates beginners. So, when I say there's only one way into the loop, what I mean is that you've got to go on this side because that is where the opening is between the 2 wires. Like you can, well, okay, hold on. Give me a sec. There we go. You can see it. You can see it on camera. Like if you go this way, you're in. But if you go this, well, okay, this loop gets really big, so it's not helping me out. But if you go this way, you're blocked. So you've got to follow that wire around into the loop and not jump over to the other side. I mean, I try not to scream at students, Keiko. It's not, I don't know that okay, well, I mean, I've yelled at students when I was teaching dance, but that's a totally different paradigm. And not yelled at them like, you're worthless, blah, 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 but yelled at them like 5, 6, 7, 8, move your butt across the stage. Like that kind of yelling. I don't think I've ever yelled at a beading student before. So I doubt you would have been the first one. So I'm now going to take that, I'm holding it, and I'm going to wrap it around. When you're teaching children, you can't say move your ass across the floor. Okay, well, I did it. There's 3 wraps, and then I'm going to trim. Ooh, yeah, I know about that. And press, and now we need another bead. And then we're going to do the same thing, but now this is side 2, so we have a bead on there. So we're going to go away, rotate, back up over the top, rotate underneath, like so, and then link our chain on. So while I'm doing this, now that I've explained it, I hope, fairly thoroughly, I just want to go over the rest of this week, because we do have a bit of an unusual week, because Heather had her vacay last week. I get my vacay this week. Excuse me. I will be in Galveston at the Dickens on the Strand Festival, having fun, possibly selling a little jewelry, but mostly just having fun and resting. So tomorrow night will be a short 50% off sale with Heather. Friday night will be a short 50% off sale with Heather. You know how short sales usually are with Heather. And and then Saturday will be Zoom. And if I'm free on Saturday night, I will hop on Zoom with you guys. I don't our group is a little bit smaller this year, and we had some changes to our typical plans. So if I'm free, I'll hop on Zoom with you guys for a couple minutes, but I may or may not be. But yeah, so 2 sales tomorrow at 6 and Friday at 6, and then Zoom Saturday at 6. And those 2 sales will be 50% off, because you guys did not get any 50% off goodness. And that is unfortunate. Now, this is a good trick. If you've got a piece of wire that is too small for you to effectively grip with your fingers, this is why a lot of us, in addition to jump rings, have 2 pairs of chain nose pliers. So you can grab it with your chain nose and you can pull it around. And you can get a much tighter and better wrap that way than if you were trying to use this tiny short piece with your bare hands. Trim. And one more bead. And this is the one that we're going to attach onto, nope, another piece of chain. I lied. Liar, liar. Pants on fire. And I am wearing pants, so they could be on fire, but they're not. Which is good. Yes. Away. Rotate. Back. Rotate. Under. Like so. And then one last bunch of chains. So I will, again, right? Because there's still that, which is there forever. And also, this is one of the few pants that still fits me. So let's definitely not burn these, because I cannot afford to buy new pants. And we're going to go around. Okay, so now this is the one we're going to be linking onto the toggle. So here's another thing that is sometimes confusing to beginners. Liar, liar, pants, the end. Somebody button list that, please. That's amazing. So most toggle clasps, not all, but a lot of them come linked together like this. The reason for this is so that we don't lose one end of the clasp in transit between the factory and the distributor and the other distributor and the consumer. So people are like, well, where's the other half? And it's like, well, Lori gets demerits. You're demeriting for punning. You're demerited for punning. Is there a way I can, like, put punners in, like, a timeout box for, like, you know, you pun and you get timeout for, like, 5 minutes? Mistletoads. You're terrible. Okay. So back to the tutorial. Derailed by a pun. Okay. So the solution to this problem is very simple. It's always a jump ring in the middle, so you don't even have to cut it. You just have to twist it open, and you can even preserve it for another project. So I'm going to set the loop aside for a minute. I'm just going to use the bar. So now we're going to take our 22 gauge wire, and my piece is running a little short, but I got enough for this. So I'm going to take my round nose, and I'm going to go... Heather, they're terrible.
Well, I mean, we love them for it.
I know, but they're still terrible.
I know.
All right, away, rotate, back up over the top, rotate, underneath. There we go, lady with a scarf. That gets linked onto this chain just like we normally would. Normally being for the past, 20 minutes of this tutorial. And then we're gonna hold across and we're gonna wrap. And once again, I have shorted myself on the wrapping wire, so I'm going to use this. Anyone who sends a mistletoe ornament to Beating Dreams will be banned from the stream for Christmas Day. We're not streaming on Christmas Day. And will also receive 25% off of their next purchase. Just saying.
They can't watch our Christmas Day stream.
They can't, because I am going to be wearing semi-indecent clothing, aka pajamas.
Me too. And probably at the Woodland.
So... I mean, I could do a Mamie stream. Sorry. Oh, I never posted that Mamie video to Discord. I have a great Mamie per biscuits video for everybody. It's very satisfying. My mother made me a blanket, and Mamie has, in a weird motherly gesture of, I don't know what, that woman is strange. Like, she's always been strange. She's always been this dichotomy of sometimes, like, super caring, supportive, loving, attentive, intuitive, and then sometimes just psycho hose beast. Like, where did you come from, lady? But anyway, Mom made me a blanket and Mamie stole it. My 6-pound cat stole my blanket. She did it. Yep. And I'll post the video on Discord and you can see why. Also, if you're not on our Discord, please join. Yeah. I really want cute PJs. But, like, the expenditure is like, well, but I could just wear my usual stuff. She did yes, apparently she did. And apparently making the blanket. So my mom is a very accomplished sewist. I'm going to wire wrap this while I'm talking. So my mother is a very accomplished sewist. She was a costume design major in college. She can draft patterns. She can sew almost anything on the planet. She really doesn't anymore because she would rather not put in the effort. But for some reason, I know why. It's because it was Ouija boards on one end, and I'm linking this onto this toggle board. Ouija board on one side and Evil Eyes on the other side. She bought one of those fleece no-sew blankets where you have to, like, cut the thing and then you tie the ends together. And she was like, this is the worst thing. The most difficult and pain in the ass thing I've ever made in my life. So I sent her the photo of Mamie and I said she stole my blanket, and my mom said, you're going to have to fight her for it because I'm not making you another one. Alright, hold across and wrap. So this completes this end of our necklace. So now all we need to do is kind of put that little button on the other side and put the charm holder on, and we're done. So trim and tuck. Oh, sorry. My back has been hurting me. And weird positions for some reason are comfortable. I think you need to get pajamas for Naz, Keiko. I'm just saying. I really want to make a little scarf for Elton. Because there was a little black fuzzy reindeer at Target that was very Elton-esque with a scarf on his neck. It's so freaking cute. So, cat jammas, absolutely. So I am not knitting a scarf for Elton because I know he will wear it for all of 2 seconds, but I have some little like pre-knit material. I think I might see if he will do a quick Christmas photo shoot with his scarf on. I have a feeling he will respectfully decline, but you never know. Okay, so that's this end of the necklace done. So on this end of the necklace, and let's just check the length. Yeah, see now that's going to be good. So on this side of the necklace, I'm going to take my toggle loop and I'm just going to connect it with 1 bead wire wrap. I do need to grab myself a little bit more wire. I hope he lets me too. I tried to put a bow tie on him last Christmas, and I put it on him, and I turned my back, and I turned around, and it was on the floor of the kitchen. And Elton was gone. So he's not into the things around his neck. That being said, he is much more adjusted and calm and social now than he was last Christmas, because of course he's been another year in the house. Though I was cleaning this morning because I have friends coming over. We're going to Dickens and they're going to stay the night with me on the way back before they fly home. And Elton was very disturbed by me cleaning. He was very anxious about what was going on because that doesn't happen very often. So anyway, away, rotate, back up over the top, rotate, underneath. That's a crappy lady with a scarf. That lady's had one too many Manhattans. There we go.
One too many Manhattan.
Well, that's fine as long as you don't have to drive anywhere. I mean, I guarantee you I will have one too many Manhattans this weekend multiple times. Alright, so there we go. And we're going to wrap. But all I have to do is weave my way back to the Airbnb and collapse in bed for a while. Alright, so there's my wrap. I know, cleaning and packing as well. So poor Elton, he had a rough morning. But he managed to deal with all of it the way that cats often do. He curled up and went to sleep. So there's my bead. I'm going to do a second wire wrap. So again, away, rotate, back up over the top, rotate underneath, like so, and then I'm going to grab my toggle loop and pop that up. Ooh, I'm going to sneeze. Thank you. Goodness. Oh my god, the allergies. I cannot even with the allergies.
No, that's why I sound like I'm dying.
I know, it was like a sneak attack sneeze, Corvus, because it just snuck up on me and then it was like all up in there with the sneezing.
All up on.
Yep. Alright, now we're going to wrap. Oh, that's interesting. I heard, you know, a million years ago, I read an article that like if you sit your cats down, like they will actually sit down and be in the same place and still at the same time. And you take a calendar and you show them the days you're going to be gone, and then you like circle the day that you're going to be back, that they'll be less anxious about it. I have never tried that, mostly because I don't actually have paper calendars, and also I don't know that cats know how to read calendars. I wonder if there's some more kind of universal way to communicate, you know, the sun will rise and set this many times before I will be home again. Like, any thoughts appreciated. Okay, so there we go. So if you just want a necklace with no pendants, that's it. You're done. But I am going to take my my swivel hook and I'm going to make it a pendant holder. So these loops on the swivel hooks are pretty good, so pretty big. So I'm going to first see if I can just pop that on here and have it still work. If it won't, then I'm going to use one last link of my chain to put it on. So we'll see. No, I think... Okay, well that's not the desired reaction at all. But so we're going to hold that and close it. So you want to make sure that it is fairly closed so that, you know, nothing is... Well, they could definitely take over the world if they wanted. I just think that maybe our paltry human scratchings are beneath them. Okay, so that does work just fine like that. If you wanted, you could actually use another bead to wire wrap that on, and that would be cool too. And then the way that you would hang pendants, and remember I said I was going to turn this fob into a pendant, is you literally use the swivel hook like you would if you had a pocket watch, and that allows it to be interchangeable. Now, since I don't have nails on today, I'm going to need to like help myself out here. Dang it. Pardon me. I'm going to do this off camera like an old school cooking show. Okay, so you could also use... Look, here's an actual watch. So again, just clip it on, and there you go. And then like I did on my example, you can even clip on multiple things. So that's our vintage pocket watch chain necklace tutorial. And use the watch on it. And that's how it looks when it's on. So it's fun. It's asymmetrical. If you are a person who has issues with asymmetry, my recommendation would be, instead of doing so much on this side and so little on this side, even it out so that you're doing an equal amount of length on this side and on this side between these two bits. I like my asymmetry, so I'm good with this, but again, if that's something that bugs you, that is something that is very, very easy to change to accommodate your own aesthetic. So that's it for our vintage pocket watch chain necklace tutorial. Thank you guys so much for joining us. So Heather and I are going to be doing a work and talk stream in half an hour at 7:30, and we're going to run Heather through the drills of how to do all this tech stuff, since she's going to be running streams for the next 2 days. So start thinking about questions that you want to ask us, and we'll see you all back on this channel, twitch.tv/beatingdream in 30 for our work and talk. Don't forget, if you're not going to be there for the work and talk, we will miss you, but sail tomorrow at 6 with Heather, sail Friday at 6 with Heather, and Zoom on Saturday at 6 with Heather. So, all right, I will catch you all in 30. Bye!